What is going on YouTube? Hit back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. In today's video specifically, I want to talk about not only DueDEX and the current coin market cap, but how I believe history is starting to repeat itself. And we're starting to see trends that look very similar to previous movements on cryptocurrency, previous movements on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Specifically, I want to talk about this dip right here, how it is bouncing off the moving average, correcting up via a wick, and now starting to extend higher. This is very similar to movements we've seen in the past that I would like to reference in today's episode. Also, we're starting to see the same movements on a lot of the other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, which is starting to head down, re-hitting the bottom right here, and now moving back upwards. So ultimately, they're all very interesting in the way that they are starting to form, and these patterns look like prior history movements, and if the pattern continues, we should be able to pretty much figure out what is going to be happening moving forward into the space. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. This way it helps out the YouTube algorithm, and remember to follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can literally head over there and DM me. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. Alright guys, so before we jump into the episode, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody subscribing to the channel. We're at 16.4K or 16,400 subscribers, on our way to now 17,000. We're definitely going to get there hopefully by the end of this year. I mean, we're definitely picking up the pace, so huge shout out to everybody subscribing and supporting the channel. We have literally 43 hours left. This actually kind of freaked me out for a second because yesterday it said 2 days, but now it's 43 hours, so it is kind of very similar. But as you guys can clearly see, the $200 Bitcoin Crypto TV Influencers $200 Bitcoin giveaway is ending in literally less than 2 days. There are 43 hours left to join this entry and join this giveaway. It's totally free to enter. There's up to 7 ways to enter total, with over 2,600 people that have gotten involved. You should definitely not be one of those that misses out. So definitely make sure to check this out. The link is in the description. Like I said, up to 7 ways to enter, and you can unlock 4 more entries by clicking these 3 right here. So definitely make sure to take advantage of that. You got to be in it to win it. Otherwise, to move back onto today's video, yesterday I made a video basically saying market settles as XRP, Ripple, and Bitcoin appear to kind of fall stagnant and, prepare themselves for the big price explosion or big drop. But you can see, are we going to drop again? Wow, I thought I spelled that wrong. It is early in the morning, like 7:30 a.m. But specifically, you guys can clearly see the stagnant movements of us retesting once again this moving average. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. On the Bitcoin chart, I was, paying quite a bit of attention to this, and you can see what's interesting is ultimately what we're waiting for is for this moving average to be broken. And if you'll notice, based on this resistance here, we've retested this dozens of times now, and with no luck, we have been able to break bearish through it. We have not been able to break bullish and go above here. So ultimately, every single time and every single retestment has, offered us to break down, and that is not a good thing. We've been breaking bearish and we're correcting to the downside, and we need to figure out how exactly we're going to proceed from that. So I was, referencing a previous breakout. I was referencing or breakdown. You can see this one back here. This was back in the beginning of like March into the end of February. And you'll notice a very similar pattern, something that we're kind of experiencing now, but not too much. Ultimately, we're looking for retestment of this resistance here. We're looking for a correction where we end up playing around with the moving average. But you can see for the most part, we do correct off of it. We use it as a means of support, and then we bounce up higher. So I do know that we are hitting all the way at the red moving average here, and this was the green, but that shouldn't necessarily be a problem. We're merely just looking for that correction, that dip, that last given effort for it to extend up a little higher, and that's ultimately the phase that I think we're in right now. Now, this is definitely, compared to prior moves on Bitcoin, the longest I've ever seen the coin actually hang up here at this top resistance, which is extremely interesting. But as the coin starts to depreciate and head lower, a few things are going to open up. we're going to start to see some other downtrends, some other resistances as such. This could be one already. So this could open us doors to maybe potentially seeing the coin actually reach all the way up to retesting like $9,200 and then falling. Or what it's opening up is the fact that we are starting to correct. This is the first time in a very long time we've retested this moving average. The fact that we're coming back down to it, bouncing off, shows that there's some support here. But the fact that we've been rejected so long from this resistance here shows me that we're kind of coming to the end soon. The price did drop a couple of days ago, but we're starting to correct back up to the moving average, coming back to the relative strength indicators at 50. So it seems like it's starting to settle down once again, and this is annoying, but ultimately it signals the fact that there could be these big drops coming soon. This is as I extend out, you can see one of the few times we've actually been hanging out at D for an extremely long time. It's extremely significant time, but it does show that we have been breaking bearish ever since. Even though we're hanging out at the top here, we've been setting lower lows every time, and the price has been getting lower every time. So it's not really too much of a concern, at least to me. We've been rejected from this resistance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 8 to 9 candles now of rejection from this top resistance. There's an extremely high chance this is going to continue, and we're going to slowly fall down. I'm still anticipating these big drops, these big wicks that are quite a bit in regards to percentage wise. This drop alone was a 113% drop, which is incredible. But we have other ones here. This was a 12% drop. This past one was a, 16% drop. So you can see there are very big candle wicks that I believe is going to come. The fact that we're just hanging up on top of here for a little bit, I do believe we are going to come back down and eventually retest this moving average on the weekly. So I do believe we are going to see movements like this. A big drop close to about 17% where we come back down, come into contact with the moving average, either bounce off of it and head back up, but ultimately come back down to this resistance trading at 50. Things are looking very grim for cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin. It's going to be a very wild market for the rest of 2020. That's all I have to say. I just got a Binance movement that said Bitcoin is slowly recovering in the past 24 hours, dropped to as low as 9,000 before rebounding up to 9,200. But we've been playing around in this zone for weeks now. The market has not been doing anything for weeks now, and ultimately you have to figure out how to take advantage of that. And there's a ton of different ways. DueDEX, my Patreon. But ultimately, you can even see that Ethereum is doing the same thing. Ethereum is bouncing lower, getting very close to its support. There is now what appears to be some sort of uptrend, which is interesting. I do believe we did break that. That's an interesting one. Do we keep it like this? Ultimately, it looks like it's something like this. This looks like a longer term uptrend. Not too sure why it broke out of here just a couple of days ago, but ultimately I do believe we are breaking out of this resistance right here. I do believe that we are going to be heading down very soon. I think we had this on before and accidentally got rid of it. But something along the lines like this. So I do believe we're going to bounce here. But ultimately, I think the markets are starting to swing down. I've been saying that. We've been preparing. We've been waiting. It's just a slow game. It's becoming stagnant, and I know it can get boring. And there are other ways to invest. You consider investing in the stock market if you haven't already. But just get ready. Even XRP is not moving that much. So with that knowledge, with the rejection, all of what I'm seeing is just rejection all across the board. It's rejection from its resistance, and that is a massive sign. This resistance band on XRP is rejecting the coin so much that we've literally been hung on to it, but it will not let the price budge higher than that. So I do believe that the markets are going to continue moving forward at a lower level, and we just have to be patient and keep a close eye. Same thing with Bitcoin and a lot of the other cryptos. Very close eye on it. I do believe we are getting rejected. I do believe we are going to fall lower. I am looking for other resistances. You can see this looks like 1, 2. Very interesting, but you can see this looks like a downtrend, a resistance as we get closer and closer to our support. It'd be interesting to see how we react to that. Probably going to bounce off, retest moving average, but I do believe the markets are starting to consolidate, and we are starting to figure some stuff out. S&P 500 looks okay as well. S&P 500 is now starting to correct back to the upside. I do want to show you the monthly though. The monthly now, yeah, you can see it's starting a green candle, so this looks great as well. Nothing to be too worried about in regards to Roth IRAs or investments, because mine's doing fairly well right now, especially since I bought in on this incredible massive formation on the candles. But that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video, guys. If you want to help support the channel, check out Patreon or DueDEX in the links below. Check out the giveaway, $200 of free Bitcoin, 43 hours left, so make sure to join it. Otherwise, follow me on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Let's get it to 17,000. Otherwise, drop a thumbs up, turn on post notifications, follow me on Twitter, CryptoTheOfficial, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.